Chapter 12. It was fully evening now in Africa. Maya and Adam made their way across the outskirts of the lush green mountains deep that lie ahead. The sun was setting red and bloody at their backs, soaring over infinite savanna, casting two stretching shadows, stepping, playful shadow arch acceleration, pointing toward the jungle hills. "Where to, little board?" Maya said, standing on her trusted companion, landing kickflips. Before them stood a rather abrupt tree line marking the end of the savanna and grassland and the dense canopy in their midst. It was late, and the gaps between the trees were turning from shade to darkness, adding an ominous air to the forest. The board began to cruise forward slowly, prompting Adam to lose the last figs in hand and follow after on his own board. They pierced the tree line and soon found themselves slowly winding down a path of jungle valley. Waxy plants, big bugs, loud birds. The chaotic, vibrant, living static of the jungle. They swerved down and around hills, under canopies, under monkeys, small and fast and fighting over food. Giant leaves, giant trees, vines draped, stretching all around the branches of the trees. Lizards, spiders, toucans. They rode ahead, guided by the direction of Maya's glowing board, slowly going along. "How are we going to find this Ubuntu in this messy maze of trees? Not to mention in the dark," Adam croaked. "Just follow the board. It's gotten us this far," Maya said in reply. The winding valley came beside a river. They boarded the water and watched it flow beneath their feet, and the valley of trees open above their heads for a wide view of the deep jungle hills they were in now. It was now getting dark, and the daunting situation dawned on them. They followed the stream as it opened into a system of waterfalls, splaying out and splashing down a wide bunch of boulders and rocks, then back under cover of darkness and end of the stream and a closing up of the foliage and everything around them. "The board can be wrong, I guess," Adam said, looking around at their options. "There has to be a way," Maya said, scanning. "Well, last time we were in a forest in the dark, it did not go so well. I'm not spending another night in a tree trunk," Adam said. "What choice do we have?" Maya asked. "Go backwards and ask the board to take us to a village, or better yet, a hotel," Adam replied. They eked through the undergrowth into a small opening of flattish leaves surrounded by airtight density of brush like a small room in the forest. In the last of the light, they saw before them a pitch-black triangular opening like an animal trail into the brush. "No," Adam said, looking at the passage. "We have to," Maya said, the glow of her board slowly blinking. "This is the way," she said, looking down at it. "Ubuntu is just beyond this trail." "You don't know that," Adam shouted. "All right, you gonna stay here alone then?" Maya asked, chin wanting to raise a little. Adam looked stressfully at the dark hole. "Whatever. If I die, I will haunt your best friends," Adam replied. "I have no best friends," Maya said. "I know," Adam said. Maya breathed deep. She looked at Adam one last time and entered the black hole. Adam followed. They had to crouch slightly as they wound around through this tunnel, similar to the portal in the tree, but they could see the leaves below their feet by the light of their boards, and the hatch of the twigs and branches by their heads as well. They shredded the little tunnel of brush with increasing speed. "This is kind of fun," Maya shouted. She dragged her hand on the thick thicket like a drum roll. "Ooh," she let out a little howl. "Ooh, hoo, hoo," Adam echoed. Slowly, they noticed they were ascending gradually as the tunnel wound up some slope, until eventually it ended and opened into another thick, closed space, larger than the first at the entrance of the tunnel. By now, it was night. They wandered under branches now in broad, dark pathway, but the feeling was not the same. Something was different. It wasn't loud static like before. "I have a bad feeling," Adam said, looking around. Maya didn't answer, but he knew she felt it too. The moon was peeking through some branches, leaving white reflections everywhere on waxy leaves. They came upon an open hill overlooking Jungle Canopy, Jungle Hill. Behind them, they thought they heard a noise. Nothing there. Maya looked at Adam, both wide-eyed, wondering what to do, when out from the shadows of the tree came two eyes flashing silently, slowly. Into the moonlight crept a jaguar with shoulder blades slow and fully pronounced range of motion. It circled them purring, entering the shadows. Suddenly, a person came out covered by the night. "What are you doing here?" a voice called out. "We're looking for..." Maya froze. "We're looking for a man named Ubuntu," Adam finished. "There is no man called Ubuntu," the figure whispered. How do you know?" Maya questioned. "I," said they, "am Ubuntu." A woman with thick, dark, springy hair emerged from the shadows. She was wearing a shortened royal blue dress wrapped around and tied around her waist, and the same blue fabric wrapped around her chest. She wore strands of beads that hang 3 times around her waist, and 1 strand of beads around her as a necklace. She was beautiful and strong. She smiled as she came into the light. "I have been waiting for you, Maya, Adam. The wind and trees announced to me your arrival." "And what has happened to Zerafungo?" she asked. "He gave his life, making the way for us to get here," Maya answered. "Ah," Zerafungo, Ubuntu bowed. "Come with me, children. We have much to show you." Ubuntu materialized a board beneath her feet. It was a Zulu shield of the old African warriors. She motioned for Maya and Adam to follow her and fell into a swoop down the hill before them. Maya and Adam got to it as fast as they could before they got lost again for the 3rd time. Ubuntu swooped gracefully through the forest, even sliding, surfing the connected, sweeping tree limbs. Maya and Adam held their own. They had been relatively battle-hardened lately, but they still had a long way to go. Ubuntu ascended on a climbing tree limb, launching her out and on top of the leafy canopy in the moonlight. The children followed, laughing. She skated, twirled, and slid on level green surface. They flew through the night. Ubuntu smiled wide and guided them far into the jungle till they saw a group of lights ahead, amber in their glow, coming from below the canopy. She led them back down through tangled limbs to trodden leafy ground and onto raging river torrent. Immediately, the rapids blasted and poured over a massive cliff, landing hundreds of feet below. She descended, spinning, laughing, flapping her arms until they landed softly on the wide-open earth. Before them stood an inconceivably massive tree, or multiple trees. They glowed from within with loads of amber lights, and they could see bridges and windows and houses and people passing and chatting and waving and shaking hands. "Welcome to the Tree of Life," she said.